Hey everyone, so this video is about getting lateral bend but maintaining forward motion. This is going to come in handy for those of you that sometimes in a run will pick up your inside hand before you get to the barrel. It's important that you understand how to separate rate, shape, and turn. And this is just a 12-year-old rider on an Arabian horse, and they're doing amazing. But this horse had some holes in his foundation. So what I'm having her do is put weight in her outside stirrup. And we're working on this horse moving off leg. He doesn't do that. He didn't have any face on him. And she's learning horsemanship as well. So her weight's in her outside stirrup right now. She should be looking between his ears, a quarter turn ahead. She is tending to put a little weight in her inside hip. I'd like to see her put it on her outside hip more. I've got this in slow motion. But what I'm asking her to do is use her inside hand and leg to keep a little nose to the inside, keep the shoulder picked up and out. That's going to keep the ribs out. She should do it give and take by the front cinch. And see how he kind of looked around there and got a little stiffer, and then she had to kind of get his attention back right there. Um, and then I let her square him up when she leaves that left figure eight. And then halfway across, I ask her to put her weight again in the outside stirrup for a right figure eight and use her inside hand and leg again. But notice she is sitting up, because if you go into a turn and you're sitting back, the horse is going to think rate. But if you go into turn and you're sitting up and you shape them with your inside hand and leg, they need to learn to go forward and around. And this horse was pushing into her leg instead of moving away from her leg. He wasn't giving his face, he was pulling against her hand. So this is an improvement for them. So this is what I'd like everyone to practice at a walk first. And the cones are set about 10 feet, which is 5 walking steps away from the barrel. Then you'll see I had her do it at a trot on the below, a sit jog actually. So again, she can square him up here and then halfway across. Weight should go in the outside stirrup. Inside hand and leg should be getting nose in, shoulder out, and then that puts the hip in and pivot foot under. Her goal is to look between the ears, square him up here, shift weight to her outside stirrup. She's looking in a little bit. I'd like her to look between his ears a little more, have a little more weight on that outside hip, and then use a little bit more clucking or timing with the shaping. But the nice thing is, see how he's straight? And this is a huge improvement for him, because he was really stiff and he would always cut her off and he would counter bend into barrels and poles. So this is a huge improvement for him to have lateral bend and forward motion. So that is the goal of this video, and I would like for everybody to do this at a walk and a jog, a sit jog over a post trot, unless you're on just a super lazy horse. But most horses will benefit more from it feeling you sit, because you'll be sitting in your turns. And like I said, if you want to maintain forward motion and you're running to a barrel, you want to know that you can go ahead and switch. So I asked her to do a loose rein whoa here and then back a couple steps straight and pet her horse. So anyways, that is the goal of this drill. And I think Izzy and Thunder did a great job. They're members of the group, and she came for a lesson. So I thought it'd be a good time to show this as an example. Of course, I'll be doing more when I get on my horses, but the cones are set 10 feet from the poles, and the goal is straight here. And then when you get there, nice lateral bend. Oh, oops, I ran out of room to draw there. Lateral bend straight, and then step outside, and then lateral bend. And the only straight part is the very beginning of the middle of your figure eight. And then as soon as you're getting close to the round part, you're going to have weight in your outside stirrup. You use inside hand and leg, and that's going to maintain four-wheel drive. That's the goal, four-wheel drive with lateral bend. So remember, you sit up, not down too much unless you're on a really hot horse, and you're using mainly inside hand and leg with give and take pressure, looking a quarter turn ahead between their ears, and weight in your outside hip, outside stirrup. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'd love to see everybody do this drill. You should do it every ride, whether you're on a trail, pasture, or even warming up for a barrel race. The softer and supple and more responsive your horse is, the better it's going to be with speed. Eventually, you can even do it loping with simple transitions in the middle. or even as a giant X across your pasture or arena. So if you were drawing an X, you could be using um, your left hand leg to have their nose in, but their shoulder going out. So their nose would be going straight and their shoulder would be going to the side. And then you'd go across, walk across the pin, and then go back this way. So walk across the pin. So this side you'd use left cues, walk across. That side you'd use right cues, walk across, trot, and just do a nice big X. So anyways, this is called lateral bend with forward motion. Thank you.